Right, it is time to rip into our countdown now. The top 10 stories. So we're going from 20 to 11 right now of the stories you guys clicked on the most and watched and read throughout the year. So let's kick it off with number 20 on the list, the BYD Atto 3 1000k road trip. Mr. Linklater, this is your story.
Yeah, I don't know whether to be pleased I'm in the top 20 or disappointed that I'm right at the bottom of the top 20. But back in October, we decided to do just 1,000 k's in a day in a really good EV, and the Atto 3 sort of put its hand up for that. So it was just a story about how easy or difficult it is to do, a whole lot of distance in a day in an EV and stop and charge and using hyperchargers and just the comfort of the vehicle and it was a really good experience, and I won't go on because we talked about it a lot on the show already, but it was just a good kind of proof of concept that yep, you can do it. And
it wasn't a miserable experience.
No, it was a great experience, and 1,000 k's in a day is a lot anyway in any kind of car.
Yeah.
I suppose one of the big surprises was the car was actually really good as well, just as a car. Just putting the EV thing aside, it was a great car.
You should be proud because we probably do close to 1,000 stories in the year. So to make it in the top 20 is actually doing really well.
Number 19 on the list, the rare John Goss XB Falcon found in a barn.
Yes, in Australia they discovered this very rare Falcon. Apparently it was built in 1975 to celebrate John Goss's win at Bathurst. They built between 260 and 800, which is a strangely broad number to be between
1 and a million.
Not big on keeping records.
Obviously,
Australia, obviously.
Keeping records
Pretty loose.
Australia was a bit loose, but a recent example, fully restored, had sold for 250,000 Australian. So I couldn't actually find what happened to it. I went to look up, see if I could find anywhere. I couldn't find whether it had been restored or whether it had been sold or what.
It's weird that the barn finds are almost commanding more value than a restored version.
Yeah,
just to find one in a barn. Don't even clean it. Take it to auction without.
Well, it had been sitting there for, I can't remember how many years now, but it was, I think, since 1988 or something, it had been put in storage. And it was all rusty, but it was perfectly sound.
Yeah, it's a real pop culture thing at the moment, though, isn't it? Barn find, almost the barn find label is hugely appealing
these
to people.
People have barns and they don't know what's in them.
What's in your barn?
I've got a shed and I've got a redundant mower because I laid fake grass. Number 18 on the list, the Waikato Expressway opening date announced July 12th.
How exciting was this? It was actually certainly for me. It was June 22 that we ran this story. As my phone rings, so I can't actually get away from the phone. June 22, we announced this. The Waikato Expressway opening date announced. So we've actually got a in the top 11 to 20 stories. This is the first of 3 stories, so I won't get on it too much. So it's clearly a popular topic this year. But basically, we sort of announced the opening date, and it was getting close. So this is how popular it was, just the lead up to the opening date being exciting because it was so many years in the making.
Number 17 on the list, Hamilton Expressway, end in sight, 7th of March.
7th of March, this was kind of the first announcement. Yes, finally, after what felt like 20 years in the making, 20 years in the planning. This is obviously part of the roads of national significance, effectively extending the motorway expressway from Rototuna to Tamahiri, bypassing Hamilton completely. 20 years in the making and 2 years in the opening. That's how it felt. Like I remember signs saying it was opening in late 2019, then it switched out to 2020, then COVID, 21, then 22.
It felt even longer for us, Dean, as you told us about it each week.
Yes.
Number 16 on the list, the countdown within a countdown, Driven's top 10 reviews of 2021.
I love there's a countdown within a countdown. So yeah, every year, by which I mean I did it last year and we'll do it again this year, we just recount the most read pure car reviews on the site, because that's a big part of what we do. We review cars and write stories. And that story with the countdown of the top 10 reviews remained really well read throughout the year. And actually the number one reviewed and road-tested car of 2021 was the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Wow. So that was the most popular review of the year. And we'll be doing it again this year, so keep an eye on driven.co.nz from next week as we get towards the end of the year, and we'll be publishing our top reviews of 2022, which will be even more interesting, I would say.